Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today I read an article on Yahoo Finance written by Don Alcott titled, Walmart CEO warns consumers can't keep up with inflation. 5 economic factors to blame. This article was put out by Banking Rates. I'll include a link to the article in the description below. I encourage you to read the full article to support the author and news source. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of this article that are of public interest. According to the article, former Walmart U.S. CEO Bill Simon recently told CNBC's Fast Money, and I'll quote, "Overall, I think for the first time in a long time, there's a reason for the consumer to pause." Bill Simon goes on to indicate consumers had an incredible 10 to 12 year run. Markets were buoyant, interest rates were low, money was available. Well, my friends, this is what happens when the Federal Reserve keeps interest rates artificially low for far too long. This is what happens when trillions of dollars are injected into the economy. In my opinion, the party is starting to slow, and some people and some businesses are starting to develop a slight hangover. The article indicates an accumulation of pressures point to a slowdown in consumer spending. What factors are to blame? Well, I'm going to tell you. Number 1, high interest rates. When interest rates rise, money becomes more expensive to borrow, which often leads to a tightening of spending. Well, car dealers are starting to see this. For the first time in many years, car dealership lots are starting to actually have inventory. Unfortunately, many of these car dealers are still finding ways to be able to maximize profits at the expense of their buyers. Many buyers who want to purchase a new vehicle can't just buy that vehicle for MSRP. Many of these dealers are tacking on dealer added options like mud flaps or paint protection programs or all-weather mats or some other types of accessories. At least consumers aren't paying thousands or tens of thousands of dollars over MSRP like they had to do in the past several years. There are so many everyday Americans that are in a negative equity position in the vehicles that they purchased in recent years. I really hope a lot of these people have an emergency fund so they will be able to continue to make these vehicle payments in the event they find themselves unemployed. Right now, unemployment is incredibly low, but for how long? What is going to happen when businesses start to slow because consumers tighten their belt? Some businesses may be forced to lay off human capital. Some of these individuals may no longer be able to make these high vehicle payments. These higher interest rates are also impacting the real estate market. In recent years, it was not uncommon to see new listings penned on the very first day. Now we are starting to see price reductions in a lot of markets around the country. Just today, I was looking at real estate inventory, and I was surprised by all of the price reductions. I really hate reading news articles that talk about how mortgage rates are now 7%. Well, mortgage rates are really closer to 8%. This week, interest rates were in the high 7s, but that is for someone with great credit and very little debt. There are a lot of borrowers who are paying in the low 8s or even in the mid 8s right now. This is resulting in the real estate market slowing in some areas around the United States of America. Higher interest rates are also impacting consumers who carry credit card debt. It is getting more expensive than ever to carry credit card debt. Some consumers are having to curb their spending because they're having a difficult time just making the minimum payment on their credit card debt right now due to the high level of interest. Number 2 on the list, inflation. Inflation may finally begin to impact consumer spending habits. I am surprised it has taken this long. A lot of consumers right now can barely afford life on a monthly basis. I feel bad for large families. It is very expensive to buy groceries to be able to feed a family of 4 or 5 or 6. If you have growing children that are hungry, it is going to be very costly on a monthly basis to buy groceries. Families with growing children also have to provide clothing for those children. If you go to a discount store, it is still expensive to buy new clothes. I am very thrifty. I can tell you right now, if I had a family with growing children, I would not take them to even a discount store to purchase new clothing. I would take them to Goodwill. I would help them find clothes that were barely worn. I would make sure those clothes fit. I would take them home, launder them well. I would make sure that the children were well dressed, but I would not throw away money, even at a discount store, to purchase clothes new. Inflation is also having an impact on how much it costs when you go out to dinner at a nice restaurant or when you go out to the movie theater. It is crazy how much movie theaters charge for tickets and for their candy and popcorn and drinks. I can tell you right now, I do not throw away money at the movie theater buying all of that overpriced junk. I will bring my own bottle of water with me. If I'm in the mood for popcorn, I will pop popcorn at home and put it in a small baggie, lightly salt it, and take it to the movie theater with me. I realize this isn't as fun as being able to select all of those items at the movie theater, but I am very frugal and I don't want to throw money away. I would prefer to have my money in investments that provide a financial return. I get enjoyment out of seeing my money grow month after month, year after year, decade after decade. I sleep well at night having a high level of financial security due to my frugal living habits and wise investments. Number 3 on this list, student loan repayments. The return of student loan payments for as many as 44 million borrowers may see many American households tightening their purse string to afford payments. Many students who just graduated from college in the past couple years have never had to make a student loan payment before. This is going to be a rude awakening for a lot of these individuals. Student loan payments just resumed this month. Imagine graduating from college in the past 3.5 years, not having to worry about making a student loan payment. You could get quite comfortable in your budget every month without having to worry about that payment. Some people thought that the government was going to forgive student loans. Well, we all know that is unlikely to happen now. A lot of individuals are in for quite the adjustment because they have to start making these payments. The average monthly student loan payment is somewhere in the vicinity of $400 to $500 per month, depending on the source that you reference. Some individuals, based on their family size and income level, may qualify for reduced student loan payments or may qualify for no student loan payment at all under Biden's new SAVE plan. Biden's new SAVE plan is really going to save some everyday Americans from having to worry about making a student loan payment. Approximately 1 million everyday Americans will qualify and not have to resume making a student loan payment right now based on their family size and income level. As the article indicates, there are 44 million individuals who have student loans. A lot of these other people will have to resume making their student loan payments. Some may see a reduced payment under Biden's SAVE plan, but a lot of these borrowers will have to resume making a sizable student loan payment. Many of these individuals will not have the extra cash to be able to spend into the economy in the foreseeable future. I suspect this will impact consumer discretionary spending. I am sure this is going to have some type of impact for a lot of different businesses. In my opinion, the government should never have paused student loan payments for approximately 3.5 years. It was simply far too long. I know of so many people who grew far too comfortable not having to make that student loan payment. Some people went out and purchased new vehicles. Now they're in a situation where they have a large vehicle payment and they have to figure out how to make these student loan payments moving forward. Far too many people believe the political narrative that these student loan payments might be forgiven. Number 4 on this list, global tensions. After Hamas attacked Israel, launching the region into war, it emphasized the overall global instability right now. I'm sure these tensions are making people feel uneasy, but I don't think this conflict across the ocean is going to meaningfully impact consumer spending here in the United States of America as much as the other things that I talked about today. Number 5 on the list, political contention. An upcoming U.S. election that promises to be contentious, as Simon said, as well as the government's failure to pass a budget or even elect a new Speaker of the House, adds to the economic uncertainty in the U.S. I personally don't see how the election is going to rattle everyday Americans as much as the other things that I discussed today that truly impact individuals' monthly budgets. The election may rattle people in other ways. I remember when Donald Trump won the presidential election, a lot of Hillary supporters were crying on television. They likely weren't crying because of their financial situation changing due to the outcome of the presidential election. They were crying because the candidate that they supported did not win. Many people who owned assets saw their wealth increase after Trump won the presidential election previously. What do you think about all this? Do you think consumers can't keep up with inflation? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Please keep in mind, nothing in this video is financial advice. If you need advice of any kind, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I also want to thank all of my channel members. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.